Shell Nigeria has been charged guilty for oil spills in Nigeria, and the oil company has to pay compensation to 4 duped Nigerian farmers. The Court of Appeal in The Hague has ruled this on appeal in a case brought by the 4 farmers supported by LUFASI. The amount of the compensation will be determined at a later session. The court made it clear the parent company, the British-Dutch multinational Shell, is not liable. However, the international company must do more to prevent new leaks by ensuring that leak detection systems are installed in the pipes. Here is a video of some of the farmers and relatives applauding the court's decision.
The judgment they have given gives me the complete joy, because they gave the first judgment. I was not disturbed. Now they have given this judgment, and nothing can disturb me, because I know that they are rendering the judgment truthfully.
It is a long time victory we've been looking for, waiting for, dreaming for. And today, the victory has been secured. It's not only victory for me. It is victory for the entire Niger Delta region. It is victory for the entire Ogoni people. It is victory for the civil society organizations. It is victory for the Gokana people. It is victory for me and my family.
Before my late dad passed out, he was seriously banking on this case, because he believed that one day the Dutch court deliver judgment in his favor, and then things will be better. And today the Dutch court system has already delivered the judgment in our own favor. So I'm very happy. Now my younger ones have not been going to school, so today I believe that they will be going to school, provided that Shell pays the compensation.
I am now being joined by Desmond Majekodunmi, a renowned environmentalist from Nigeria, and Chima, Willams Environmental Rights Action, and also a member of the group Friends of the Earth Nigeria. Welcome to News Central, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I'll start with Chima. Chima, Shell said during the trial that the spills are caused by some residents and local gangs deliberately making holes in the pipes to steal the oil. What did the farmers who lost their agricultural land, the area where they could fish about 15 years ago, attribute the cause of oil spills to?
Well, if I got you right, first is that to say today I'm in a celebrative mood because this is my case that I won, okay, as the lawyer to the Nigerian lawyer to the 4 farmers. So that is a point. And when you ask me about people making holes on the pipes, and spilling, causing oil to spill. Well, I think that is an allegation that needs to be proved, okay, because this is something that the court in The Hague has determined today, because Shell have always alleged sabotage, that it is third-party interference, people busting their pipes, okay? And this was their argument in this case, okay, that the spill occurred as a result of third-party interference, and therefore they are not liable to the victims. And the court in The Hague at the lower stage, the High Court in The Hague, agreed with Shell on those points, okay, and ruled against the 3 victims from 2 communities of Oruma in Bayelsa State and Goi in Rivers State. But the Court of Appeal looked at it because we made a strong argument to say that, look, you owe a duty of care to protect your facilities and ensure that it does not put people in danger, okay? And that the reliance that Shell places on third-party interference is not founded on any law in Nigeria or anywhere else. Okay, that argument comes from a regulatory mechanism put in place by the oil companies and DPR, that is EGASPIN, Environmental Guidelines and Standards for Oil Operation in Nigeria. Okay, so that is not law. Okay, and the argument, if you allege that people have sabotaged your facility, borehole on it, and caused spill to happen, then it is a criminal allegation because sabotage is known to our criminal law. It's founded on criminal law in Nigeria. So you have to prove that allegation beyond reasonable doubt, okay, to start a conviction, okay? And for you to prove an allegation of crime beyond reasonable doubt, you must have arrested a suspected culprit. So it is not just good enough for you to allege that, citizens or people in the communities bore holes on your facilities and pipelines. And the latest report that was released recently by ERA and Mili Defensi shows that some staff of the oil companies, including Shell, are involved in such act of sabotage, and they do not want to go after them. Rather, they want to escape culpability by alleging that it is third-party interference. So the judgment of today has put a lid to that lie that if you have to allege that there's an act of sabotage, third-party interference, you have to prove it, and you have to start by showing that you applied all due diligence in ensuring that no harm came to your facility.
All right. Let me talk to Mr. Majekodunmi. In the civil case, the farmers demanded that Shell stop the oil spills, prevent new spills, and also clean up the pollution. How do you see this happening in the Niger Delta?
Yes, it is a very easy thing to do.
I'd like Mr. Majekodunmi to just give us his response first. I'll come back to you, Chima, in a moment.
Okay. All right, thank you.
How do we see this happening in the Niger Delta? It's going to take a massive renewal of our minds, because the reality is that we have despoiled that area massively. It's going to take at least 30 years to even clean up just Eleme local government area in the Niger Delta, according to the UN report. And the kind of despoliation that we're talking about can be classified as, wait for it, infanticide. Because children in their hundreds and probably thousands have been dying because of the oil spillation. What am I talking about? I'm talking about benzene. Benzene is one of the chemical agents that comes out of oil when it spills. And benzene is one of the most toxic carcinogenic agents. It causes cancer in children, in their bones. And this is what has been happening there decade after decade after decade. It's going to take a tremendous amount of renewal of the minds of the people responsible for this. And we're not just talking about the particular oil company. We're talking about the people that they are dealing with. We're talking about the whole chain. The reality is that we're dealing with a very toxic poison. Yes, there's no doubt about that. If I brought a generator into your studio and turned on the generator, you wouldn't stay there. Why wouldn't you stay there? because the fumes that are coming out of that would kill you. Do you know that, wait for it, this statistic is shocking. The amount of people that have died from air pollution caused by burning of fossil fuel is 5 times more than the people we lost to COVID in 2020. Yes, that's how bad it is. And we're just talking about the poison to mammalian life. How about what it does to the atmosphere? How about the climate change? You see, so a massive transformation, a massive renewal of the mind. I believe it can be done. I believe it shall be done. And I know it has to be done. It has to be done. We can't continue this way, because the consequences of action that the perpetrators of this have caused will be too horrendous. There's some basic laws that govern physics and metaphysics. Basic laws. We're talking of the law of action and reaction, okay? We're talking about the law of retribution, otherwise known as karma. It's there in every single scripture that is worthwhile calling it a scripture. It's there in the Holy Bible. It's there in the Holy Quran. It's there in the Bhagavad Gita. It's there in the Shustras. The law of reaction, the law of retribution. Whatsoever, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, he shall reap. And I think Shell is now beginning to reap what they have sown. And this is a wake-up call to everybody who feels that, yeah, it's okay, just because of the profit, just because of the massive money, it's okay to continue polluting and polluting. It's a wake-up call. And I believe humanity has woken up. 2020 was a very strange year for humanity. It was like nature pressing the reset button for humanity. Hey, you guys, you've done too much damage. You've got to change your ways. And I believe that anybody with just a little bit of intelligence will appreciate that.
Okay, all right. Let me also ask Chima this question. In 2013, Chima, the judge had ruled that one of the 4 farmers should receive compensation from the foreign subsidiary. The 3 others did not receive it. They appealed that judgment. So tell us, was that decision upturned today, and what made the difference?
Okay. Thank you very much. In 2013, the lower court in The Hague had agreed with our arguments in respect of Elder Friday Alfred Akpan of Ikot Adaudo village in Akwa Ibom State, that Shell was liable to him for the destruction caused. But in the same judgment, the lower court disagreed with us concerning the other 3 that are victorious today. For today, the Court of Appeal in The Hague did not make any pronouncement concerning the case of Elder Friday Alfred Akpan, so they have not delivered their judgment on that case. The position is that the court wants to have further information and evidence presented before them before they will set a date for judgment in that case. So as it is today, that judgment still remains, is still extant, and is still the position of the court until such a day and time that the Court of Appeal in The Hague will make a decision on the case. So as it is now, the case of Ikot Adaudo is not lost. Okay, we have still won that case because it is the favorable judgment that is still extant, because the Court of Appeal has not made any pronouncement one way or the other on that case. And we are very hopeful that at the time the Court of Appeal will make their pronouncements, after getting further explanations from the lawyers before them, it will still go the way the other 3 have gone. It will be favorable.
All right. Let me ask Majekodunmi one more time. The Royal Dutch Shell, which is the parent company, has said it is not directly responsible as day-to-day management is in the hands of subsidiary Shell Nigeria. Now, how do you see Nigerians who have been duped by the oil spills in the region claiming their compensation from Shell?
No, they will succeed. They will do it. They have to. There's no doubt about it. There's a groundswell. There's a groundswell of disaffection. There's a groundswell of anger. I mean, you can't continue perpetrating this type of activity against people. You know, something that has been sending children to their early grave. Come on! Even the compensation that is coming. What type of compensation is that? How do you compensate for lost children that you will never see again? But at least it'll alleviate a little bit. It'll alleviate a little bit. This is the time for change. Because I have no doubt about it that Shell Nigeria, they will wake up to the reality. And not just them, but anybody who is perpetrating this type of activity that is wrecking the very life support ecosystems of our earth. You know that Niger Delta, it's a wetland. The wetland is one of the most valuable ecosystems in the world. It sequesters carbon dioxide tremendously. It cleans the water. It's a breeding ground. And then you feel that you can be justified in allowing poison to be perpetrated there. No, the people will win. They will win and they will get their just reward. I have no doubt about that because we serve a living God that answers prayer, and he has a just system. You harvest what you sow.
I want to say thank you very much, Desmond Majekodunmi, and also want to say thank you to Chima Willams for joining us on Newscentral Now.